Cattle ranching is big business in the valley, and right now there is a new federal push aimed at protecting animals. Channel 5's Frank McCaffrey reports.
Mike Rissica has owned a ranch in Hidalgo County for 31 years. He says his herd has avoided disease, but he knows the toll an illness can take on a rancher. Mike Rissica says he's in the business of bringing in Mexican cattle. He knows that can lead to some major troubles for his ranch.
Anytime importing cattle from another country, we'll have concerns.
Rissica says imported cattle can bring potentially deadly diseases with them that could wipe out his cattle and profit. He says he identifies the Mexican cattle in his herd by a branded M, but he adds often the brand is only around 3 inches in size.
A lot of times a brand, if it's too small or not done correctly, hair will grow over it. So in order to, facilitate better, a bigger brand will help us see that better and will be less likely for hair to grow over it.
Rissica says in order to keep the 5,500 cattle he owns safe from disease, he has to bank heavily on federal import regulations.
Any step by the USDA, because we really depend on them because they inspect any type of cattle coming in.
Channel 5 News reached out to a cattle expert, Brad Cowan, with Texas A&M AgriLife Extension to ask what steps the U.S. Department of Agriculture is taking to keep herds like Rissica's safe. He says the USDA is changing its branding regulations as part of an effort to fight the possible spread of disease from Mexican cattle. Cowan tells us the agency will now make the brand larger and will require it to be between 3 to 5 inches. He says this is so the animal can be traced back to where it came from to fight illness.
There are some cattle diseases that are more prevalent in Mexico than they are here. The main ones that are more serious in Mexico than they are here are tuberculosis and brucellosis.
Cowan says it's important to keep those potentially deadly diseases from hitting herds here in the valley. Cowan says animal health inspectors want to trace a disease to where it came from so they can learn more about how to prevent it. Rissica says he's happy the USDA is taking this step to further protect cattle in South Texas. In the Channel 5 News studio, Frank McCaffrey, Channel 5 News.